Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Woo, ladies and gentlemen. That's almost all I can say with this one. They had my heart pumping fast, screaming, hollering, yelling, doing everything that Knicks fans do, but we pulled it out. And this team just has the nick and the knack of finding their way out of situations, because I'm telling you right now, they were in a situation tonight, ladies and gentlemen. They were in a situation tonight, and you could tell right from the beginning of the game that it was going to be a struggle. And we were going to have to deal with Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks offense. Because all night long, right from the tip, we had to deal with that screen and roll, and Trae Young working magic off of the screen and roll. Finding Clint Capella, hitting the floater, pull-up jump shot, creating fouls. Tough dude to deal with. But the Knicks scored with the Atlanta Hawks tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, they did. They scored with the Hawks tonight. Of course, it wasn't easy. The Knicks gave up 69 points at half. After they went down by double digits in the first half, they clawed back into the game. Still ended up down 69-67. Then they get into the third quarter. Come out in the third quarter, still dealing with that Atlanta Hawks offense. They go down again, 5, 7, 9 points. Bodies all over the place. Taj Gibson gets punched in the face. He goes out with a lacerated eye. Nerlens Noel, he gets elbowed in the jaw. Trae Young, he goes out, twists his ankle. He goes out the game, doesn't return. Clint Capella, he lands on Derrick Rose's foot. They call a foul on Rose, even though Clint Capella landed on his foot. Falls on his back. He's hurt for a little while. It's a tough game. I'm sure both coaches, the Atlanta Hawks took the worst of it. They lost fourth place, and they lost Trae Young for a little while. So they definitely took the worst of it. What a battle down the stretch of the game, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks, finally, with Trae Young out the game, they didn't really have to deal with that pick and roll problem that they were dealing with. They didn't have to deal with it anymore. They took a 7-point lead. But the Hawks come right back. They call a timeout. They come right back and get right back into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Next thing you know, the game is tied. The game is tied. The Knicks have a 3-point lead with 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And the Hawks find an open man. They knock down the triple to send it into overtime. But then the Knicks dominated in overtime. Although Julius Randle, he did miss that turnaround. I thought it looked good, but he let it go after time expired. So it wouldn't count it anyway. Julius Randle had 40 points, by the way, so I'm nitpicking. He had 40 points. They get in overtime, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks dominate in overtime to win their 8th straight game, to take over. Sole possession, ladies and gentlemen, of 4th place in the Eastern Conference. They win the season series against the Atlanta Hawks. They had already won the season series against the Atlanta Hawks anyway. What a game. What a game. Heart-pounding victory for the New York Knicks. So they pull out a tight one. And look, this team continues to find ways to climb mountains. It's just, it seems like it's just in their DNA to do so. They figure it out along the way. They're like Floyd Mayweather. If you ever watch a Floyd Mayweather fight, he might get punched in the mouth a few times, but by the 5th round, he's got your number. He's figured it out. Takes you out the game. That's like what the Knicks do. At least right now. The Atlanta Hawks, ladies and gentlemen, were led by Clint Capella. This man had 25 points, 22 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 assist, 1 block. Bogdanovich, he had 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. And Trae Young. If Trae Young didn't go out the game, this man would have had 20 assists tonight. He went out in the third quarter. He had 20 points and 14 assists. A lot of them to Clint Capella. He also had 4 steals and 2 rebounds. Kevin Huerter, he gave him 17 points and 4 assists. John Collins gave him 18 points and 3 rebounds. Lou Williams gave him 11 points. And guess what? Brandon Goodwin, Trae Young's replacement, he came in with ice in his veins. He played good basketball when he got in there. He was 2 for 4 from the three-point line. He gave him 7 points. It's a magnificent game tonight. It was a fun one. Nerve-wracking, but it was a fun one for the New York Knicks. They were led by Julius Randle, ladies and gentlemen. 40 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. He was 11 for 21 from the field. He was 6 for 8 from the three-point line. He was 12 for 13 from the free throw line. If this man is not on the All-NBA team, we got some issues. Derrick Rose, he did his thing again. 20 points from Derrick Rose, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He came up big when we needed him to come up big. He was 8 for 12 from the field, 1 for 1 from the three-point line. He did foul out. But he if it wasn't for Derrick Rose, we don't win this game, in my opinion. Because when Julius Randle had to take a seat, Derrick Rose stepped up. Manuel quickly, he gave us 20 points, 7 for 11 from the field, 4 for 6 from the three-point line. Reggie Bullock again stepped up. 18 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 6 for 11 from the three-point line. Then RJ Barrett had a cold first half. 3 points in the first half, scored 13 in the second half. He's got 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. How much more can you say about this team, man? They keep finding ways to get over hurdles, and they have a goal in mind. They have an idea. They know what they want to do. Seems like they're just not going to let anybody stop them. They're not going to let anybody stop them. Big game, big win for the New York Knicks as we move into sole possession of 4th place in the Eastern Conference. Gotta love it, Steph. What's going on? How you feeling? I know you're excited, but how are you feeling?
I am feeling ecstatic. And I keep saying I'm going to bed. I'm not going to do the post-game show. And the Knicks go and they show out. And I got to come here and I got to show love. I mean, as Clyde said, heroes abound tonight. But I'm not going to be here for the whole show. I got to shout out quickly. It's not even his 17 points. I was watching him. He was playing within the flow of the offense, not taking every shot. If he had it, he took it. If he didn't, he made the right pass. His defense was okay. This was an impressive game for him, but not just him. Randall was efficient, as you just said. Rose, in that, was it the third, whatever quarter that was, where Randall was able to get extended rest, and I'm sure that helped him, going into overtime. So it was just a great game.
Yeah.
And when Trae went down, I don't want him to be out forever, but I did say I'll take it. However, we could get this win, we gotta get this. Because
let me tell you, it would have been a much tougher game with Trae Young in there, because that guy is a problem. Yeah. That guy is a problem, man. He's a big problem. Kudos to him. Big shout out to Trae Young. 20 points and 14 assists in 2.5 quarters for the most part. You know what I mean? 2.5 quarters. Isaiah, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Sam? What's going on, Steph, Tony, Kareem? First and foremost,
a little depressed, Isaiah. Sound a little depressed.
No, I'm good. I'm really happy. No, I am mad though, Steph, because we have 450 people here and only 75 likes.
We go to get him.
That's not cool. 400. Now, listen, hold on, Sam. I want people to understand the context of this and why I say we got to boost these likes up. Today, you got your 15K. Today, the Knicks won 8 in a row. Today, the Knicks are the 4th seed. Get my big brother them likes, man. Stop playing. Man, we only got 80 likes and 450 people in here. Stop playing, man. Don't do that to my big bro, for real. But But Sim, let me tell you something. I wasn't even gonna go on. Like, you know how I usually text in the group chat. Sim, I was so up and down about this game because I'm gonna be real. On a serious note, though, the Knicks played some sloppy basketball today. It wasn't the best, but guess what? This is when you get these games like this, Sim. Where this is potential seeding. It's gonna be like this. It's gonna be grimy. It's gonna be sloppy. It's gonna be because you both. Listen, I got so much respect for the Hawks. And this team did a complete 180. This team is basically what we are.
Mm-hmm.
This team does not quit. This team, we were going blow for blow, run for run. If people don't remember how the playoff games look for the Knicks, it's gonna look like this. This is what you should be expecting. I'm not gonna lie, Steph. When I seen that Trae Young injury, I said, "Okay, God bless. I hope he's not nothing torn." But when he got out that game, I said, "Take you guys."
Hey,
because
listen.
We gotta take what we gotta get, man.
Too.
Let me tell you something. They got a lot. Gallinari is out. Cam Reddish is out. Hunter was out. Like, they still have a lot of people that's out. Who knows how it's gonna work with their lineups when it comes back? But they're gonna be a tough out in the playoffs. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They're gonna be a tough out, man.
I was on Gammo's. I was on Gammo's show. Shout out to Leeds and the Knicks. But Sim, when I tell you, I'm like, this game. I'm like, I was getting so nervous because I'm like, I know we're gonna talk about that corner shot. I know I'm not even gonna mention it yet, but when I see that, I said, Jesus Christ. But you know what? The Knicks did. Listen, this overtime game, Sim, man, we are doing good. But I'm so happy, man. We got the 15K today. We got the Knicks winning 8 games. We the 4th seed. Today's a good day. Let's celebrate, man. Let's go, man.
Yeah, let's get it. Tony?
What's good, guys? Peace, Queen. Peace, Sim. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Blackest Time. Oh, man. I'm ecstatic, man. I just want to see how far we could take it, man. 8-game win streak. I can't even remember. Well, I do remember the last time, but it's been a long time. It's been a long time. This is what we've been asking for. This is what we've been waiting for. The team looks focused as they ever been. Yeah, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. We got the longest winning streak in the NBA right now. All right, with eight straight. We've taken sole possession of 4th place in the Eastern Conference. So right now, the Knicks are 33-27. The Hawks are now 32-27. Right? And here's the thing. This is, if we would have lost this game, we would have dropped down to probably 7th seed. Right? So you go from the 5th to the 7th because we would have had not an identical record as the Celtics, but we both would have been 4 games above 500. And because they have a better division record, they would have been above us in the standings. So now, we create a little bit more separation between us and the Celtics, between us and the Miami Heat, the Charlotte Hornets, and so on. As long as we keep winning, the Hawks are going to continue to win basketball games. They're a good team, man. They're going to continue to win basketball games. It's going to be neck and neck between us and the Hawks. The good thing is that we own the tiebreaker, right? We beat them 3 times this season. We own the tiebreaker. That's the good thing. The tough thing is we might have to see this team in the playoffs. And that's going to be tough. It's going to be some tough games against them in the playoffs. I mean, yeah. We're not going to have Mitch back, but I would love to have Mitch back to go up against Clint Capella, man. That guy's a rebounding machine. Yeah, that's going to be a tough playoff series if we end up playing them. Kareem, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Sam? How's it going?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I feel good. I'm happy. Shoot.
Kareem, I need you to.
He coming out here depressed too.
No, I ain't depressed. I was waiting because yeah, the little violins playing earlier and.
But hold up. You talking about no. But Kareem. Be real.
Yeah.
You don't tell me you didn't look at this Hawks team and say, "Damn, they good," when we was playing them, because they was hooping tonight. They got shooters all over the floor. One second. Here's the tough thing about this team: they got shooters all over the floor, and they got a guy that can go up and get alley-oops to help spread that floor out even more, or make you collapse so that you can get the ball out to those shooters. They're dangerous. I'm sorry. They're a dangerous team. They're dangerous, bro.
I'm gonna get you a violin track
on the injury list too.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm gonna tell you honestly what happened to me. I actually fell asleep and I woke up in the fourth quarter. So I missed most of the game.
Oh well,
we were up by 2 when I woke up. And then I heard we were down by 8 in the fourth quarter. So, but like I expected it to be a close game, and I based on, because I look at patterns, and we've been closing games well. The last few, I would say the last 5 to 10 games, we've been closing out well. Of course, Julius Randle with the 40 points. So, when we got to overtime, the last time we went to overtime, we pounced on the team. And, this time we pounced on, we got ice water in our veins, man, right now. And also in regards to all the Atlanta Hawks, I'm going to be petty, man. I don't respect that team, don't care about them. In fact, if their players never come back, I won't lose sleep over it. I hope Trae Young injures other ankle.
Well, I don't hope nothing like that. That's Kareem.
Come on, Kareem.
I don't hope nothing like that. I want the brother to be healthy.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this.
I want him to be out, bro. Just take it back. I was happy he went out, though, but I want him to be out.
I'm not taking that back. If they don't come back, it's an easier winner for us in the playoffs.
Look, that's going to be a tough team to play in the playoffs. Well, but listen.
Kareem crazy.
Listen. Let's stay on track. Let's stay on track. Steph, who is your player of the game tonight?
Oh my! We could put it in a hat and just pick out one. I have to go with Randle. I have to go with Randle. The 40 piece, he was efficient from the 3-point line, from the foul line, from the field. Made the right passes. He took a few shots that weren't great, and when he took one shot, it was an important shot for us. And I thought of Isaiah when he said some shots is like turnovers. And sure enough, they got the rebound, went down court, hit a 3, and pulled within 3. But for the most part, I would have to say he played very well for us. But there were others as well, but I would go with him.
Okay. Isaiah, real quick, who's your player?
It's got to be between... I'm going to go D Rose. And I'm going to go D Rose because this Joker kept this in the game, man. This dude, when we were down by like 11, he was keeping us in there. He kept us, D Rose kept us in that striking distance. So I'm going to give it to D Rose, man.
Yeah. Tony?
Just to be different, I'm going with Quick.
Quick. Here's some big buckets. Here's some big buckets tonight.
Going up against his idol, which, he did well the last time. But for the most part, when guys do that and especially acknowledge it, they don't play well. So this is back-to-back times, him going up against Lou Williams and actually going at him. Like he went at him more tonight than last time.
Yeah.
And I know he proud of himself, saying like, hey, I got a role in this league.
Yeah. And big minutes in big games, putting up big numbers. You gotta love that. You know what I mean? Kareem, what about you, man? You played the game tonight.
I didn't see much of the game.
Oh, that's right. You didn't see much of the game. But who did you dream was the player of the game?
Of course, I will say, based off of what I saw, Julius Randle was big down the stretch, with the shots he knocked down prior to the overtime. But I would say honestly, man, I'll say, I give it to the team, even though you say pick one player, like I'll give it to execution, down the stretch we took care of business.
Okay. I'm going with Rose. I'm with Isaiah. I'm going with Rose, man, because I really do think that if Rose wasn't in there in that third and fourth quarter, when Randle needed the rest, I just don't see that it would have happened. Because he really did keep us in there. We're down 6, we're down 7, we're down 9. He kept it within that distance, whereas it didn't go into double digits in that in the second half. You know what I mean? And without him doing that, I just don't think we win this game. So I'm giving it to Derrick Rose tonight. I thought he really was the catalyst. Although Randle had 40, and of course he hit big buckets. Knocked down 12 or 13 free throws. You know what I'm saying? He did everything except for that one shot, that fadeaway. Yeah, the Knicks were up like 4-6 points or something like that. And he had just hit a big bucket. Bucket. And then he comes down and takes that fadeaway in the corner. I'm like, why? Then they come down and knock down a big shot. Then he comes back down, boom, 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 to the lane. Or maybe it's a couple possessions later. And gets the layup, gives us a 3-point lead. Then, of course, they come back down and then knock down an open three. Both, I think, R.J. Barrett and Nerlens Noel get caught. Both of them get caught on a Clint Capella screen, right? Both of them caught on a Clint Capella screen. They knock down that three. But it's going to happen when you play in these games. It's going to happen because remember, I do this thing with my players in practice just to teach them about defense. It teaches them about defense and offense, right? I take a quarter and I put it in their hand. Then I take my hand and I put it on top of it. And then I flip my hand down and I snatch the quarter out their hand and I tell them, now you try to stop me from snatching the quarter out your hand. And I do it. And they never can. You know why? Because they can't react until I react. They can't do anything until I do something. And so I do that to teach them when you're on defense, you got to be ready. You got to anticipate. You got to be smart because you can't move or react until I do something. Now, I also use it to teach them offense to say, you got to react. You got to watch the defense. You got to watch their body language, their body positioning, and then understand that the defense is at your mercy. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing in that scenario right there. We always talk about you can't get caught in this and that and this and that. But when a team executes well, and Atlanta executed very well tonight, and they executed well on that play, your defense is going to get caught in some things. You know what I'm saying? And, he knocked down a big shot. Nerlens Noel, he tried to get back out there and contested the shot. And he was there when he contested the shot. Raised arm. He just knocked down a big three.
Hey, Sim, you know what's crazy? When I seen that shot, right, I'm like, I automatically thought about the Pelicans game. I'm like, I got mad, but I'm like, dang, we definitely did that on the Pelicans. I was like, Sim, why can't the Knicks make this joint easy? I'm like, I remember that it was like 3 minutes left. Honestly, Sim, the fourth quarter with the last 3 minutes had me so frustrated because the Knicks were up. Like, it was 109 to 117. I'm like, all the Knicks got to do, take a couple good shots, and play the clock game. Man, these jokers let these dudes come back. And then when they hit that corner, when Randle hit that shot, I'm like, okay, we up 3. We should be good. Let's get out of here. And these jokers let this couldn't get over that screen in time to get it open for this dude.
That was a good play because it didn't even give us time to foul. All we could do was contest.
Yeah.
I know, man. I was just like, Jesus.
But here's the thing. And I know people are going to be like, yo, Sim, stop giving Atlanta so much credit. But when you play good teams, they're going to execute well.
They
good teams do not go away. They don't go away. They stay there. And they try to win down to the last minute, man.
Hey, Sim, we can't be mad because we did the same thing.
Exactly. We do the same thing. Exactly. Big shout out to Jason Alba. Thank you for the super chat. He said the best Knicks game of the year. Yeah, this as far as entertainment is concerned, yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty
yeah.
Hey Sim, I ain't never seen that many injuries before, man.
Yeah, no, a lot of
In one game,
because they, both teams playing hard. It's gonna happen, and you're gonna let elbows and things fly because the refs might be eating the whistle. Like Nerlens Noel went out, they didn't call a foul on Clint Capella. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Hold on, let me get to these super chats. Big shout out to Mark Boozajor. Hopefully I said your name correctly. You said great win, prayers up to Trae Young. Yes. But we took care of business. The Knicks won without Trae Young being there, but we're missing Burks, Mitch, and 8 in a row. And we won with Trae Young being there. So, that's neither here nor there. Tonight, he was on fire, though. And he had the team moving. So, it would have been a much tougher game down. It was already tough. It would have been even tougher down the stretch if he was there. Ghost Rider, thank you for the super chat. You said, Sim, you and I are old heads. When was the last time we've seen the Knicks team we know can win any game? Salute. It's been a long time since we've seen the Knicks team that we know can win any game.
Mike Woodson's team.
You know what I mean? Since Mike Woodson's team. Exactly. Since Mike Woodson's team. 23 Blades is a sim in the panel. I'm going to come back to this question. I'll read it out, then I'm going to come back. They said, who do you want if we end up in the 4th seed? So just keep that in the back of your mind. All right. Dan Alcanet, you said the Knicks just signed Pele to a multi-year contract. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure you're joking. All right. Chetnik, you said injuries are part of the game. If Taj didn't get hurt, Young wouldn't have landed on Pel's foot. You might be right about that. Chris, thank you for the super chat. You said salute to the MBK fam. Randle is definitely in the talks for MVP. On an 8-0 run. Exactly. You said Steph and I were debating between 3-1 or 2-2, and look where we are now. Exactly. Yeah, man. I want to get back to that question though. Who do you want if we end up in the 4th seed? Tony, I'm going to start with you. If we end up in that 4th seed, who do you want?
I think y'all already know who I want, man. I want Boston.
That's crazy, right. You did tell me that. You want Boston if we end up in that 4th seed. You want Boston. I mean, any of those games are going to be tough. There's no doubt about that.
I just want them in the first round, whatever seed we are. Like, I feel like beating them is a statement win more than beating anybody else. And I don't like them.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Isaiah, who do you want to see in the first round?
I'm
sorry. If we get to the 4th seed, if we win that 4th seed, who do you want?
To win the 4th seed, give me Atlanta, because at the end of the day, right? One thing about Boston, they have the playoff experience, and that's going to be major. And to me, Brad Stevens is still a good coach. He's a good coach. I don't people have to think about not being a good coach. He's a good coach. He's been to the Eastern Conference Finals multiple times. They scare me more because of the experience, and they can use that against us. So I'm going to go with the Hawks because pretty much it's a clean slate. And they don't really play as much defense, even though they are more disciplined, but they don't play as better defense. And we can actually expose Trae Young, me personally, with some of our guard play. And hopefully we can get Noel Beck and all them guys. I would like our matchup more with the Hawks versus Celtics.
I don't know. It's a tough one. Steph, who would you want in the first round?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't want to see Atlanta. I don't want to see Charlotte. I don't want to see Miami.
Right.
Boston has the playoff experience. Give me Charlotte.
Okay.
Give me Charlotte.
That's
going to be tough.
Yeah.
But I'd rather go with a team that doesn't have playoff experience.
I want to stay the underdog.
And see, if we're not looking right now, okay, Atlanta, they're in the 5th seed. They're half a game above Boston. They could get to that 5th seed. Miami is just one game below Atlanta. They could also get to that 5th seed. and Charlotte, they got a tougher schedule, a tougher climb to get to that 5th seed. If we remain in that 4th seed, right, they got a tougher climb. So you're talking about Atlanta, Boston, Miami, and Charlotte. Any one of those teams could be in that 5th seed or the 4th seed. It could be us in the 5th seed. It could be either way. Man, it's tough. Kareem, who would you want to see? Atlanta, Boston, Miami, Charlotte. Those are the teams really that are in contention of being in that.
I would want to see
5th seed.
I would want to see any one of those teams but Miami.
I'm scared.
And I will say this: they play a lot like us, except they have people that can defend and score. This dude Hero, I wouldn't want to see them because we got to be honest, people. Playoff basketball, it's a half court grinded out type of pace. That's why you notice any team that has a full court player, a Harden, a Stephen Curry, there's long stretches where they don't play well because their game is predicated on full court, running and gunning, coming off screen, shooting the ball. So that's the only team I would not want to see. And I will honestly say I don't think anybody in the East wants to see them with the way they play.
I think I'm with Tony. I feel like Boston is a team that is losing their mojo, almost like Milwaukee, right? I feel like Boston is one of those teams, even though Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they're young, right? But I feel like there's something that's not right there. And I feel like we can match up with them. It'll be a grind out game. It'll be a tough, grinded out type of basketball game, the entire series. I'm more comfortable with the Knicks playing that style than playing Atlanta's and Charlotte's style of basketball. I don't want to play that style of basketball because I'm not sure that the Knicks can keep up with that style. Before I get to you, Tony, I do want to say I'm seeing in the chat where they say the Knicks really did go ahead and sign Norvel Pelle to a multi-year contract. I need to look it up. Maybe I haven't seen it. But
if they sign Noah Pelle, if they sign that, then it's probably going to be like an Austin Rivers contract. So I'm not really. It's probably still a 1 year.
Yeah, maybe it's something like that. Okay, I mean,
3 years, $700,000.
You are tripping tonight.
Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
So my question is to all of you actually. Why? Because I take Boston or Miami, honestly. But why are you guys seemingly more afraid of Miami than Boston when technically Boston has more of the playoff experience?
Miami went to the finals.
Miami went to the finals last year.
I know exactly where they went once, but I know where Boston's been the past 4 or 5 years.
But Tony, that don't make sense.
But I get what you're saying, Tony. But I'm just saying they are the epitome.
What's more likely to be a fluke? Boston over the last 5 years or Miami last year?
It's not even that. It's just how they played us this year.
We haven't beaten them.
Bro, they're the epitome of a playoff team, bro. We are too.
They haven't smacked us.
Nah, they haven't, but it's gonna come down to
they haven't smacked us.
They haven't smacked us. We've been in every game against them, and all of those games was before we got over that hump of losing these close.
But I don't want to look at the regular season because we all know.
Hold on real quick.
Yeah, you got a 7-game series, so we're gonna have to play the same team 7 games. Up to 7 games. So we play like a playoff team because, like I said, it comes down to half court grinding out. But with that team, I don't want to play them in that type of environment, man. They're just lethal when it comes to that type of game.
And they're coaching too.
I agree. It would be tougher. I just wanted to know if it's. I didn't think you can solely base it off playoff experience.
I mean,
just because they went to the finals.
They're not about the playoffs because again, like they went to the NBA finals. I don't care what nobody. Don't ever let nobody tell you.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm gonna say it again too, Tony Crow. I keep telling people nobody wants to play Miami. Think it's sweet playing them. I don't think nobody, even if they don't realize it, that's the team nobody wants to play. I'm telling you.
I agree. I think
I agree with you because
a more experienced us, honestly.
Yeah.
But
they got defensive juggernauts, bro.
So do we.
I mean, now we do, but I'm talking about their team. Their team could be. You got more than one player that could be potentially NBA first defense. That's the type of defense I'm talking about.
Listen, right now, y'all can't talk me down about nothing about.
Oh no, bro. You know how I talk, bro. I get it, bro. Send anybody at us, but that's the team I would want to play the least. You could say
I'm not gonna lie.
I think Devin Booker are the biggest statements we can make.
Because we do play like a playoff team, bro. So but we never been there before in a while. So,
but Kareem, I'll tell you this though. I mean, again, I know we're a playoff team, but our playoff team versus Miami playoff team, that's two different monsters, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with that. And we
like this. You're talking about
for 7 years.
You're talking about a Miami. You're talking about a Miami team that can stop
Isaiah.
MVP.
Well, the only thing I say,
no disagreement with you right here, but I agree with you.
Yeah, listen. The only thing I say about Miami is, this year they've been, obviously they've dealt with injuries like anyone else, but they've been kind of floundering. I the chemistry isn't fully there with them either. But we'll see what happens. 007 Angelo, thank you for the super chat. He said, "I told you, it'll be a drag out fight. Great win." And then Dan Alcanet about Norvell Pell said that Shams announced the deal, and I'm looking at it right now. It said the Knicks are signing center Norvell Pell to a multi-year deal. Sources tell The Athletic. His second 10-day deal ended today. Pell finally finds a home after stops in Brooklyn and Sacramento. So that's a little bit surprising. Well, I guess we'll see what kind of deal it is. We'll see what it is because there are just little things that you do sometimes to set yourself up to have a guy that you can trade, right? Like for example, if you gave the kind of deal that they gave to Austin Rivers, where you sign him for a year, but there's still more years left on the contract that are not guaranteed. I could see something like that. So whoever announced it first, I didn't mean it. I wasn't laughing at you. I thought you were making a joke for real because I figured they were going to pick him up for another 10-day contract. I didn't think they were going to give him a multi-year deal. But we'll see what it is and what it's for.
Some people going to start losing it. What are the Knicks doing? We're wasting our cap space on this Pele.
Yeah. But I think they're going to try to develop them. They might see something in them where they think they can put some development on them too. That's what I'm thinking as well.
Hey, I don't know if this is true or not, but Kevin Middleton just said that it's a 3-year, $3 million. I don't know if that's true or not, but he said 3 years for $3 million.
3 years for $3 million. That's $1 million a year? I don't know if you can give a deal like that because you have to do at least a veteran's minimum, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if they just put that out there. That's what he just said. But
how old is Powell, though?
How many years he been in the league?
Yeah, how old is he?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Let me get to a couple of phone calls here. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Yes. Thank you so much. This is Sam.
Appreciate you, Sam.
I've been a Knicks fan for over 50 years, and I'm really enjoying the Knicks right now. My wife is telling me you're making too much. I'm screaming, jumping up and down. I'm very happy with this team.
Yeah.
Well, my only question is this: why is it that every quarter the ball must be in the hands of Randle? He has not been able to end any of the quarters. Like in the end of the fourth quarter, he got the ball 6.2 seconds to go. What does he do? He's there playing around and never get the shot off. I think the ball should be in the hand of Rose or any point guard. Then Randle can get the ball where it's much easier for him to take a shot. And two, why can't Randle attack the basketball? Why does he have to take mid-range shot every time? Every time I watch the game, I just don't understand. Fourth quarter, he is the man the ball goes to. And every other team knows that. So I'm just wondering when the coach is going to make some adjustment as the playoff is coming up. Yeah. Other than that, I love what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. I'm a very happy man, and as I'm watching this show, I listen to you guys. And it's one of the best shows in town, man. Let's go Knicks, man.
I appreciate it. Let's go. I appreciate it. The one thing I say, the one about Randle having the ball to close out quarters, I'm not that big on it either. I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? I mean, I know he's made some shots to close out quarters. He has. But I would like to see some other people have the ball in their hands to close out the quarter. Spread it out and let RJ close it out sometime. Give him the chance to do it. Emmanuel quickly, Derrick Rose. I wouldn't mind that at all. Now about the mid-range jump shot, I think one thing I'll say is this. I know a lot of people today in today's NBA are like, oh, either shooting the three or going to the basket. That mid-range game is still effective. If you look at your top players in the league, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden, they all got a lethal mid-range game. Jason Tatum has a lethal mid-range game. And I think with Randle, especially right now, because so many teams are loading up on him, it's hard for him to get any kind of penetration into that paint. Right.
Okay.
And so he's, that 1-2, boom, boom, and pull up or spin is effective for him, and he gets fouled doing it. So it's a way that he can get up the shot. He can get up a decent high percentage shot without the chance of turning over the ball, and those type of things. Now there are times when I do think he, can go in a little bit more, but we've seen like early in the season he was going into the basket a little bit more. But Randle doesn't have extraordinary leaping ability. He has a lot of power, but not extraordinary leaping ability. He's 6'8", and when he's going in there, guys are 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot, and he's not very long, relatively speaking. So I think he has trouble sometimes when he's deep in the paint, getting his shot blocked or just guys, hands all over the place, and it's hard for him to see the rim. So I think that's why he pulls up a lot of those. That's why he pulls up.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. What I want to say is that when I say this, you go towards the basket, it doesn't have to attack the center or not. He could draw the crowd to himself and dish the ball out. I'd like to see that more. You see what happened with the Pelican game? Mm-hmm. Rose dished the ball out to Bullock, and he made that 3-point shot to tie the game. You see, you got to get everybody else involved.
I hear you.
Yes.
He leads the team in assists.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, though. I get what you're saying. I mean, there's some times when he gets in there and, gets bumbled up. But I think he's really trying hard and trying to, doing a good job trying to get that thing out.
I agree. I agree. See, but the last thing I want to say is that, like you said, now, when you see the double or triple coming, he should react much quicker to let go of the ball to someone else. Yeah. Instead of trying to dribble. Dribble around, he has so many unforced errors. Mm-hmm. You see, you don't need to do that. Two or three guys coming to you, there are other guys that are wide open. Give the ball out quickly. But otherwise, he's a great player. I'm very happy as a Knicks fan. I like what I'm seeing. Thank you very much, man.
Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Like Clyde says, that's the one blemish on his record. That's what Clyde says just about every game and every turnover for Julius Randle. Clyde will say that 2-3 times in a row that Julius Randle turns it over. That's the only blemish on his record, turning the ball over.
Sam, can I respond to that real quick?
Yeah. And then I'm gonna come to Tony. Then I'll get to Eddie since he's just joining us.
All right. We've seen that graphic tonight, right? My man had 40, 11. Like, that's why he got the ball in his hand. He leaves it. We run the offense to him. It's been like that all season. Mm-hmm. He leads the team in assists. Mm-hmm. So what are we talking about?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would like to see a guard have the ball in their hands when they're closing out quarters. I don't think it always has to be Randle. Those are times when you can let him rest on the court. You can tell him, go over in the corner. Let Derrick Rose break his man down and go to the basket. And maybe you get the kick out and get an open three. I wouldn't mind that. Those are times, you know, the percentage that you're going to make those shots is not high, right? And I just think those are times when you can let him, you know, you can let him rest on the court, get a couple extra seconds of rest, which can help you, you know, come down the end of the game. Like your first quarter, second quarter, you know, I would say give it to someone else. Third quarter, if he's in the game in the third quarter, which normally he is, right? Let him be the guy because, you know, now the game is on, you know, the game is closer and it's on the line. Of course, in the fourth quarter, you know, you're going to Julius Randle, you know, but I don't mind. I would like to see somebody else close out the quarters sometimes.
I think Tibbs gives him the ball, though, and tells him to isolate at those times, depending on, like, the climate of the game.
Yeah, I think he does.
But not necessarily to take the shot, though, to make the decision. Take the shot or make the decision. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, but you know what? Listen, you know, we're nitpicking on him. Nitpicking, you know what I'm saying? Because
we trying to get better, son. We trying to
I know. Right, we trying to, I get it. Go ahead, Tony.
I was just gonna say I think it's still a learning curve, a learning experience for him, for Coach, for the team overall. And I also think Coach, you know, he's gone to others. You know, we've seen Rose handle the ball down the stretch. We've seen Barrett have his opportunities, and I remember vividly the Miami game and the Minnesota game. You know, people arguing, oh, well, why he didn't have Randle with the ball down his head, you know. So I think everybody's getting the opportunities. We've seen Barrett contribute in that situation as well. We've seen Randle contribute in that situation as well. So I think over time, and for the most part, Randle's the first option, but I think Tibbs goes with who has the hot hand at that particular time. So I think we're fine. I think it's still a learning.
I don't know. Curve. Sometimes I've seen times when Randle doesn't have a hot hand, and at the end of the second quarter, you know, he's isolating at the top of the key, and he's been, you know, 1 for 9 or something like that. You know what I mean? I've seen times when he's had a bad half and he knocks down the 3 too at the end of the quarter. So, you know, I get it. I would just like to see.
I'm only talking fourth quarter though. Like, you know, end of the game. Like we've seen numerous guys get that opportunity more than once. But I was only talking about to end the game. You know what I mean? But all in all, he had enough time to get the shot off, and I don't think it would have counted if it went in. So
no, because he didn't pull that one off in time.
Yeah.
You know, again, ladies and gentlemen, Julius Randle, 40 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists on the night. I'm going to come to Eddie in just a second. When you look at the breakdown of the game tonight, it was a battle all the way down to the end. Finally, and you know, the Knicks took over in overtime, 137 to 127. Despite the way that it looked, excuse me, and this surprises me, the Knicks won the battle of the boards 49 to 41. Even though, what's his name was rebounded, Clint Capella was rebounding all over the place. The Knicks had 29 assists on the night, 28 for the Atlanta Hawks, 8 steals for the Knicks, 10 for the Hawks, 3 blocks for both teams. The Knicks ended up with 14 turnovers. They averaged 12, so, you know, after having that first quarter, they turned the ball over like crazy in the first quarter. The Knicks shot 53.8% from the field. The Hawks shot 48% from the field. The Knicks shot 54% from 3, ladies and gentlemen. 54% from 3. Right? And this is a team coming into the season that it was like, hey, you know, that's the weakest part of their game. They can't shoot threes. They shot 54%. They were 19 for 35 tonight. Reggie Bullock, 6 for 11. Julius Randle, 6 for 8. Derrick Rose was 1 for 1. Emmanuel quickly was 4 for 6. I do notice that teams still, if they get a lead on the Knicks, they still go zone if they get a lead like the Hawks did. But the Knicks are much more equipped right now to break those zones. The Hawks, 64 points in the paint, especially in that first half. They were killing us. They were finding Clint Capella all over the place. Trae Young was. For half of the third quarter, it was like that as well. The Knicks had 52 points in the paint. Both teams had 14 second chance points. The Hawks had 17 fast break points, and the Knicks had 9 fast break points. The Knicks shot 80% from the free throw line tonight, and they needed it. Julius Randle was 12 for 13 from the free throw line tonight. You got Derrick Rose was 3 for 4. They shot 25 free throws tonight, and I will continue to say the Knicks need to get to the line, have about 25 free throw attempts every night. If they make 80% of them, I mean, that's 20 points that's given to you. So that's always a good thing for the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. Great game. Eddie, what's your take on tonight's game?
Salute to everybody. Salute to you, Sim. Salute to the chat. Salute to the real Knicks fans that's been down since day one. Not those fake Knicks fans that always think that we're gonna lose, and now that we're winning, they don't know what to say now. I'm very happy about tonight's game. We got lucky with the injury. It probably would have been a different ball game if Trae was still around, but he got knocked out, and we were able to gain some momentum and win the game. It was a really important game for us, to solidify that 4th seed. And, I'm being greedy, man. I want that 3rd seed now. We're only 3 games back in Milwaukee. Anything can happen. There's still like 14 games left. I'm looking towards that 3rd seed, and I think that's what we should be looking towards, not staying around 4th or looking at 5th or looking at, I want to get that 3rd seed now and just keep the ball rolling. But, yeah, it was a good game, man. Like, we've been really fortunate, in some games. I can't lie. We've been really fortunate with some things that's happened during the season. But, we're coming out on top, and you got to be happy with that, man. We're playing good at the crunch time now. After we went through that bump where we weren't playing that well in crunch time, now we know how to win. And, it was a great Knicks win. It was a great Knicks win, and I'm very happy.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I'm going to start with you, Eddie, and then I'm going to come around the board. Because you said, you'd like to get up to the 3rd seed. And the Knicks are, like you said, they're about 3.5 games behind the Milwaukee Bucks for that 3rd seed. But when you look at between Atlanta, Boston, and Miami, does it really matter much if you're 3rd or 4th seed? To be honest, so I'm gonna ask you, Eddie. When you look at those 3 teams, to me, they're gonna be tough no matter what, right? So, but right. Does it really matter much between the 3rd and 4th seed based on who we'll likely be playing? I could see if that 3rd seed might have been playing Indiana or the Wizards, but you're likely gonna be playing Atlanta, Boston, or Miami. What do you think?
I understand what you're saying, but it's not about that. It's not about, who we can play, what the game within the game is, It's all about just winning. Okay. I just want to keep on winning. I just want to keep the momentum going. We've been playing this game for so many years of positioning. We've been doing it in the lottery positioning. We should position ourselves, lose this game to get the first pick, do this, do that. Man, just throw that out the window, man. Let's just keep on winning games. And,
okay.
If we get on the 3rd seed, nobody would see that coming. You know what I'm saying? And right. All those people that talk trash about the Knicks, all those people in the media, all those people that talk trash, fake Knicks fans that want us to lose and want us to tank, they're going to have to shut up because, we'll be one of the top 3 teams in the East. You know what I'm saying? And we basically did it off the strength of how we play ball. And that's what I want to see, man. I want to see this
who should we play? It don't matter who we play, man. Let's just keep on winning. Let's just get the best seed possible we can get and just go from there, man. Whatever happens, happens.
Okay. All right, Tony, same question.
Does it matter? It matters. It matters for a few reasons. I agree with Eddie. I want to win. I don't think anybody expects that. I think we could be the third seed and still end up being the underdog, which I prefer. You know, no more. It won't even be more pressure on us for being the third seed. It's more opportunities for home court advantage if we end up playing a lower seed down the road.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Because third or fourth seed, we still got home court advantage.
Yeah, first round. But I mean, we could end up with it if we end up playing what's the matchup? The eighth seed. If you know what I mean, if the eighth or seventh seed advance, we still have home court advantage against them.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Right.
So
yeah, that's true. That's very true. That's very true.
I think it matters, and even last night off air, I said it would take much, but we could we could move up still. It's enough games for it.
Okay, and
three games back,
what I'm getting and what I agree with 100%. Is it about the mind? It's about the mindset. Hey, we're going to keep winning basketball games because by no means do I want to lose basketball games. Now, if the Knicks are comfortably, here you go. So I'm going to ask you this, Steph, because I do agree. It's about the mindset. We got to win basketball games. Right? You just want to keep winning basketball games. But let's say you get down to the last 2 games of the season. You got the 4th seed wrapped up. You do have a chance to move up to the 3rd seed if you win both games. Do you rest Randle and let them guys get some, take care of their bumps and bruises? Or do you say, no, let's go get it? What would you do?
If the 3rd game is if 3rd seed is in reach, I would go get it. But I will say that that's more about our narrative. I think in terms of who we play, whether you're in a 3rd or 4th seed, it's that same group of players you're going to be playing, no matter what, whether you have the 3rd or the 4th seed. But in terms of, like Eddie was saying, just winning, letting it fall where it may, going after it, again, I agree with that. But I don't think it's going to help us playoff time, though.
The only way I think it helps us playoff time is with what Tony was talking about. Let's say you did somehow advance to the 3rd seed, and if you're the 3rd seed, that means you're playing the 6th seed, and then you beat the 6th seed, right? But then you would normally play the 2nd seed, but then let's say Miami beat the 2nd seed, and so now you're playing Miami. Because you were the 3rd seed, you would have, home court advantage. But even if you're the 4th seed, it's going to be that way, right? So if you're the 4th seed and you beat the 5th seed, you advance to the 2nd round. You would play the 1st seed, but if the 8th seed beat the 1st seed, you're still going to have home court advantage, right? Because that's the only team that could beat the number 1 seed. Right, and then of course, if you advanced to the conference finals, the only seeds that could have home court advantage over you are 1, 2, and 3. Right, any team below you, or 1 and 2. So it's you're still going to be playing that same group of players. Either way, but the mindset though. You want the Knicks to have that winning mindset where, hey, we're just going to go out and get wins and play the basketball game. We'll see what happens when it gets down to the end of the season, though. And if the Knicks, have a position locked up, it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to do. if they have a position locked up.
I mean, to me personally, if I'm the Knicks, now I'm resting them. I'm resting Randle and RJ and Noel's and I'm
resting nobody.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much know that, but I mean, I think it'd be smart to rest RJ and RJ Randle and Noel and D Rose, because to me those are going to be your four guys. They're going to be probably playing the most minutes out of everybody. So I mean, any amount of rest. Even that's why I'm so happy we won today. We got 2 days off. So
yeah,
I think they should, but I mean, most likely it's not going to happen.
I say we can rest. I say only time I'm resting is if we clinch a spot. That we know,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
if we clinch the fourth spot,
coming in at. Yeah. But other than that, nah, we need everybody at full capacity.
But
all hands on deck with this schedule, with this 6-game road trip coming up too.
Right, but I'm not necessarily convinced that Tom Thibodeau wouldn't, if he seen we had a spot locked up, and he could rest some guys. I think he would. I think right now he's not resting them because he knows that he needs them to get there. But once you have something locked up and he says, okay, we're satisfied, we got this spot here. We'll give Julius, we'll give Randle, we'll give Rose, a couple days to, to heal up them knees, take a couple ice baths and those type of things. I think he would do that because he's been there. I think, he's been there before. You know what I mean? He's been there. Let me get to this phone call here. And then we'll take a look at, since my man Eddie said I'm hungry, I'm greedy, I'm looking at the third seed now. I want to take a look at Milwaukee's upcoming schedule. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How you feeling?
For those in the chat room, I'm Travis T.
Okay.
I'm the Chicago transplant that's a Knicks fan because of the fact that I like Derrick Rose.
All right.
Hold on, let me cut off my... Anyway, listen, there are a number of things I wanted to say because we was carrying on this conversation in the chat room. Number one, you got it. When Tibbs and Derrick Rose was in Chicago, Derrick Rose didn't have no help. He got help now. Yeah, you got Randle. He's riding Randle the same way he rode Rose. You have to develop your secondary players. You have to. You got to get RJ involved. You got to get all of these other. You got to get IQ involved as well as Derrick. That's the first thing that you have to do. The second thing is teams don't rest people. Okay, he has a very basic, fundamental concept when it comes to offense. He's a defensive genius, but when it comes to offense, he's clueless, and that's all I'm saying. You gotta get the ball out of Randle's hand. He's making too many turnovers. He making too many turnovers during the course of the game. And they have too many weapons. And it's not just so much about this year, but it's about developing a winning team throughout. You get what I'm saying? It's not just about this year. Nobody is guaranteeing the Knicks is going to win the championship this year, but you build for the following years.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you got the ball in Randle's hand all the time, can't nobody else develop. You don't know what people are capable of doing in crunch time. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have a lot of help. When you saw the Miami series, when Rose went up against LeBron James, D. Wade, and Bosh, he didn't have nobody on his squad. Nobody. He's got a team now. That's why he went to New York. Because basically he saw them young boys there. And Tibbs is going to blow it. that's putting the ball in Randle's hand at all the time, and he's not going to develop these younger boys. These is horses, man.
I mean, but I think they are developing. Look, but listen, Emmanuel Quickly, he made some big plays down the stretch tonight. RJ Barrett didn't have it going. You say that again?
What I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. If Randle has the ball all the time, how you gonna see Quigley?
But what I'm saying
when you're going to the playoffs, it's not about playoffs is about predictability. If you've got all your weapons on the floor, Quigley on the floor, Rose on the floor, all kind of weapons on the floor, you don't know what to stop.
No, I agree with you. I get it. But what I'm saying is,
you know what I'm saying?
I think these guys are. Yes, Randle has the ball in his hands a lot. Right? Emmanuel Quickly had 9 points and 2 assists in the fourth quarter. He couldn't have done that without having the ball in his hands.
What I'm saying is, here and again, if you watch the whole game, Randle had what? He had like 3-4 turnovers, trying to dribble through double teams.
I mean,
you got all these weapons on the floor. You got to pass the ball. He can get it back. These boys play unselfish ball. That's what I love about this team. These boys play games. They got killer games. They pass the ball, man.
Nah, I agree with you.
That's a beautiful thing.
Randle
averages. Get the ball out your hand and post up or get in position and give it right back to them. They know how to play the game. But basically the way Tibbs plays offense or structures offense is one man and that's it.
Well, I mean, my thing is this. I feel like guys like Quickly, RJ. I mean, RJ didn't have it going tonight. He still had 16 points. He was our leading scorer against Charlotte. I mean, these guys are still getting their chance to have the ball in their hands and make plays. My thing is, I believe that Tibbs, and caller, I appreciate your call. I got a lot of people calling in. I believe that Tibbs is about winning. And right now is not the time to develop. I'm sorry. Today is not the time to develop. Develop during the offseason. But you got to put the ball in the hands of the guys that's going to make winning plays. Now, Emmanuel Quickly was making winning plays tonight. Other nights, he's not. Derrick Rose, the ball's going to be in his hands because he's making winning plays. If he's not, somebody else is going to be out there. RJ Barrett, the ball is going to be in his hands because he's making winning plays. But now is not the time to say, you know what? I don't care that Emmanuel Quickly turned the ball over 3 times. I want to see what he can do in the fourth quarter. It's not the time to do that right now. Right now, you just got to win the ball game. However you win the ball game, I don't give a damn who's out there on the floor. Don't matter to me. Just win the basketball game. We can develop in the offseason. I mean, and trust me, they're developing and learning right now because they're in the midst of this type of a battle, right? So they're developing and learning. You know what I mean? But I think that, listen, right now, we're on an 8-game win streak, playing the way that we're playing, and I'm not saying that we play perfect. But this is what we have right now. You didn't have a lot of time. This was a crazy year. You didn't have a lot of time to put in a lot of stuff. We'll see what happens next year. And let's see if our offense grows and develops a little bit more next season. Right now, I think we got to do what we got to do to win basketball games. And to me, I'm going to tell you what, I don't give a damn who's getting it done. Just get it done. Get it done. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? If you got to bring Ignaz Brazdeikis back to hit a 3, bring him back. I don't give a damn. Just get it done. You know what I'm saying? Just get it done. That's all I care about right now. Now, I don't care about developing. We can develop later. We can do that in the off season. But believe me, they're developing right now. They're learning. They're learning preparation. They're understanding the intensity to bring to the basketball game. You got Emmanuel Quickly knocking down big threes. Right? I mean, come on. What more can you ask from the kid? He's got 20 points tonight in a big game that had playoff implications. Last night, RJ Barrett, 24 points, 18 points in the second half, and playoff implications. Like, R.J. Barrett was instrumental in winning us that game. R.J. Barrett hit a clutch shot tonight. If Mitch was playing, he'd be out there making some clutch plays for us. So I don't know. To me, the young guys is getting a chance. I know the ball's in Randle's hand a lot. It's the best we got right now, and he's doing a hell of a job. I think he's an all-NBA player this year. But our young guys is getting a chance. Go ahead, Tony. Yes, I know you wanted to jump in there and say something. I see you had your hand raised.
Thank you. I forgot. I'll get back to you. But thanks for unmuting me.
I'll say something, Sam?
Yeah, go ahead, Kareem.
So I just confirmed, shout outs to Ghost Rider. That was really Alpha Payton's uncle. Down in New Orleans.
Nah, he said he was from Chi-Town.
Some Popeye.
He said he was from Chi-Town. I appreciate him for coming over, man. Big shout out to Jamar DeGraffin Reed for the super chat as well. I appreciate you, my man. A lot of Chicago fans have come on over to the Knicks side because of Derrick Rose. You know what I mean? A lot of fans have come on over to the Knicks side.
I remember who's next on the menu.
Next on the menu, the Toronto Raptors, ladies and gentlemen. The Toronto Raptors.
Oh, let's go.
Okay. They fighting for a playing spot.
They're fighting for that.
So let's go.
They're fighting for that 10th spot.
All these teams' best shots.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But looking at Milwaukee, Milwaukee lost to Phoenix tonight, 128-127 in overtime. They play not tonight. I'm sorry, not tonight. A couple days ago, they lost to Phoenix 128-127. Okay, tonight, meaning Thursday, they play Philadelphia. And then on the 24th, they play Philadelphia. That could be 2 losses. Now, they play them at home. It could also be 2 wins. So we'll see. The 25th, they play Atlanta. The 27th, they play Charlotte. The 29th, they play Houston. The 30th, they play Chicago. Then on May 2nd, they play Brooklyn. On May 4th, they play Brooklyn. And then May 5th, they play Washington. They play a couple of tough. Listen, Brooklyn, 2 tough teams. We don't know what Brooklyn's going to be doing at that time. They'll probably have their seeding locked up. Who knows what they'll be doing? I don't think they even care about getting the first seed. Right? But they play Brooklyn twice. They play Philadelphia twice. We know Atlanta can be a tough team. We know Charlotte, they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot and their seeding. So, you know, they could be tough. There could be a couple losses in their upcoming schedule. There could be a couple losses in there. Now, when you look at who we play coming up, we play Toronto next. On Saturday, we play Toronto. That's on ESPN. Then we play Phoenix. Now, I'm more concerned about this Toronto game than I am for the Phoenix game. I'm not going to lie to you. Right? I want to win that Toronto game so that we get that tiebreaker. Just in case something crazy happens and we slide or something like that, I want to win that Toronto game so we can win that tiebreaker. And it's not just the tiebreaker with Toronto, but it's also the in the division. We need to continue to win in our division because right now the Boston Celtics have a better division record than us. All right, so we need to continue to win in our division. Now, of course, we can, as long as we beat Boston later on in the season, we win the season series. But still, I want to get that division record up. After Toronto, we play Phoenix. Then we play Chicago. Then we play Houston. Then we play Memphis. All of those games, I can believe we can win. I believe we can beat Toronto. I believe we can beat Phoenix. I just haven't seen us play against Phoenix. It's going to be a tough game. I mean, I believe we can beat anybody at this point. Right? But, of course, that's the one game you say, okay, that's really going to be a tough game. Chicago, beatable. New York, Houston, beatable. Memphis, beatable. They're going to be fighting for a spot, so it's going to be, you know, their defensive team. I underestimated their defense the last time we played them. That's going to be a drag them out type of game. Then Denver.
And we hold the head-to-head between Milwaukee, right? We beat them 2-1 this year.
We beat them 2-1.
The tiebreaker.
Yep, we got the tiebreaker. We got the tiebreaker with Milwaukee. We beat them 2-1. Denver, we played Denver after Memphis. Then we play Phoenix. Then we play the Clippers. Then we play the Lakers. And then we come home. We play San Antonio, Charlotte, and Boston. All right, so of course, this 4-game stretch from May 5th to May 11th, that's a tough stretch. That's a tough stretch there. But up until then, I mean, we can win those basketball games. I mean, I mean, I don't know. Chicago has not looked good at all with the changes that they made. It just has not worked. We should beat Chicago. It's at home. Right? We should beat Houston in Houston. Memphis is going to be a tough one. Right? That's a tough game. It was a tough game the first time we played them. But you're looking, we should beat Houston. We should beat Chicago. Toronto's going to be a battle. I don't like playing Toronto. It's going to be a battle. But, hopefully we get that win over Toronto too. You know what I mean? Right now we got 33 wins. If we beat Toronto, Chicago, Houston, we'll see what happens with Phoenix. By the time we get to, realistically, we could leave home guaranteed a 500 team. If we beat Toronto, Phoenix, and Chicago, we got 36 wins. We're a 500 team. Freak it. I want all 3 of them Jones, man. I'm not even skipping over Phoenix. I want all 3 of them. I want, let's take this homestand. Let's take this homestand because our next goal, Tony, we talked about them small goals, was getting to 500, right? 36 wins. Mm-hmm. We take this homestand, we got 36 wins. Let's take it. Freak it. Let's take this joint.
Sound like barbecue chicken to me, man.
You know what that does to our confidence going on a home stretch, winning games, and then getting home court advantage? Like, come on. That changes things.
And confidence is everything. Remember when we met Clyde, and we were talking to Clyde in his restaurant? What'd he say? Confidence. We asked him about Frank Ntilikina. Said confidence. Confidence is everything. The team has crazy confidence right now. Crazy confidence. Hey, man, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing for them to go on this type of run. And guess what? Everybody asks for it. Hey, people who are worried about free agents, this, that, and the third, they're all looking and they're all watching and they're all saying, damn, I can fit in with that team right there. There's no doubts about that, man. Good game for the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. Great game. Somebody's getting ready to say something? I thought I heard someone getting ready to say something.
Yeah, well, I was going to say a little while ago, man, Clyde is confident with all the outfits he be wearing. Gotta be confident stuff like that, boy. It be clean too, man. But I be like, yo, Clyde, man, my dude Clyde, his confidence is on 10, man.
Yo, that's Clyde. That's Clyde. Yeah, it should be on 10. Shoot, that's Clyde. Well, yo, this is what I want to do. Let's get to. I want to hear Tom Thibodeau in the post-game press conference. All right, so let's go ahead and listen to Tom Thibodeau, and then we'll get a couple final words in. This is Tom Thibodeau, ladies and gentlemen, after the Knicks just defeated the Atlanta Hawks 137 to 127 in overtime.
If you have a question, raise your hand and I'll bring you into the room. Steve Popper.
Can you just talk about what you saw closing out the game that, the lead kind of goes away there late and these guys come back 10 straight to start overtime?
Yeah, we were disappointed. Obviously, we didn't close it the way we would have liked. I thought we labored throughout the first half, got going a little bit in the fourth quarter, and just found a way to win in the end, and that was the encouraging thing. I felt like we scored very efficiently in the first half, and we're down 2. I think we shot 60%, but we were high turnover and put them in the open floor. And that team can score points in a hurry, and they did. And so that was a big concern. I thought our defense was a little better in the second half. But I love the way everyone's sticking together and just finding a way to win in the end. A lot of resiliency when we had some guys step up with the centers getting hurt and Norville going in, giving us some good minutes. Everyone's important. You need everyone. Julius was Julius, and I thought Quick and Derek gave us a good lift. Reggie was terrific. And so you need everyone over the course of the season, and we just got to keep scratching wins up.
Rebecca Harlow.
Coach, this is a game where you lose Taj, you lose Noel for a little while. You're already without Burks. Then Derek fouls out. So many guys that make big plays for you. What can you say about the toughness that you got from the guys that you did have on the floor?
Yeah, and that's what I like about the guys that are not in the rotation. They're great team guys, and they put a lot of extra work in, and they're prepared when they're called upon. And that's what you need from everyone. And so there were situations where Kevin was in, situations where Frank was in, and we were searching tonight to get ourselves going. But that we have a true team, and they all play for each other.
Mark Berman.
Hey, Tom, how is Taj, how is Nerlens, and how physical was this battle tonight?
Yeah, it's pretty intense out there. And so they'll be reevaluated tomorrow. Taj's case, lacerated eye. I think Nerlens had a lacerated lip. So we'll see where we are tomorrow.
Christian Winfield.
Hey, Coach, just obviously Trae Young was a handful to deal with. When he goes down in that third quarter and doesn't come back, how does that influence what you're able to do defensively, and does what you're able to do change when he's out of the game?
Well, I think, and obviously he's a great player, and he commands a lot of attention, but they also, Bogdanovich and Herter have been playing really well for them also. And then when they picked up Lou Williams, that added a whole different dimension to their team. And I thought Capella hurt us. He put a lot of pressure on the rim, and you have to be tied together. And, so as the game unfolds, you try to make adjustments that you feel can help you. And, but the big thing that I thought hurt us the most was our turnovers when we put them into the open floor.
Respect.
Tom, Walt Clyde Frazier said about the 19 threes tonight, this is just extraordinary. How did the Knicks learn to shoot like this? They rarely practice. What's your answer to the shooting performance of your ball club tonight and in recent games?
Well, actually, we've put a lot of time into the shooting. So guys come in at night. They do come in, for our shoot arounds. In off days or film days, but they're also shooting days. So they've made a very serious commitment, and we knew we had to. It was a big concern going into training camp was how well can we shoot the three. And I think by working the way that they've worked, it's given them confidence. And I've always said, I think the two biggest things with shooting are confidence and concentration. So if you make that commitment to put the work in and you groove your shot and you have a checklist on your shot, it helps. And you can see that guys, we're shooting the right threes too. And that's probably the most important thing, because if you're shooting the right threes and you're not just jacking up any old three, it allows you, everyone knows when the ball's being shot. It allows you to get your defense set going back. So I think that's important as well. And of course, you got to put pressure on the defense, and that means that you need a drive, you need the ball to hit the paint, and then you need a spray out, and then you need a pass. And if you do that, you should get a rhythm three.
Steve Popper.
Hey, Tom, a lot of these guys on the roster haven't been in playoff games or tough games down the stretch. When you get a game like this that's physical and overtime and you move into fourth place, what can this do for these guys?
Well, you take everything step by step. There's a lot of physical teams in the league, and there's a lot of talented teams. So I think as you head down the stretch here, you want to be playing your best. We try to challenge all our players mentally every day. So you're building the right habits. And when the season ends, hopefully you're playing your best basketball.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Tom Thibodeau talking about the Knicks win tonight over the Atlanta Hawks. And I do want to say, so Tony, I'm looking at my super chats. Right? I'm looking at my super chats. Somebody's a little upset because I didn't answer the phone. Now, I don't know if he was calling me a B or if he was just saying, D Rose, you know what I'm saying? Like, hype about D Rose. So, Bob.
I read it. I get go.
Yeah, Bob, I'm going to take it that you was hype about D Rose. I'm going to take it that way. You know what I'm saying? I take it that way, I got you. I'll get you on the phone.
Some money,
huh?
You want to pay some money and voice your opinion, man?
I'll get you on the phone, man. And, you call, I'll get you on the phone. I got some goons in Chicago. So, I don't, don't, go ahead, Isaiah.
Oh, man. Yeah, he got goons in Connecticut. He got goons in North Carolina. He got goons in listen, man, he got goons everywhere. But now I wanted to say something to you, Sim, before I head out because I got work in the morning. I just wanted to say I'm really proud of you, man, for the 15K. I remember, man, first discovering you, and I remember when we used to be on Skype and Whereby, and like I said, I'm really proud of you, man. I got to really know you. I got to really know you, hang out with you, and you're really a good man, yo. Like he talked the talk, man. He walked the walk, and you deserve everything, man. You deserve the 15K. You deserve 20K. You deserve 100K.
Appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? You deserve the money too. You deserve 100K in money too. You know, you get that too. But nah, man, I'm just really proud of you, man. You're like my big brother, man. And yeah, man, I love you, man. I love you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
On here.
Appreciate it, man. Sometimes I gotta get this guy in check, but that's where the big brother feeling comes from. Because sometimes I gotta get this guy in check, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you, man. Bob said I wasn't calling you a B. I figured that, Bob. I figured that, man. I was just messing with you. I figured that. I appreciate. Hold on. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for always watching the show and supporting the show. I figured that. I was just messing with you, brother.
So what part of Chicago these goons in, though?
Right.
South side, north side.
We don't reveal that information.
Yeah, that's figure. You right, Tony. Find out Tony really in Chicago. He ain't in New York, wherever he at.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Not to be a little more mushy, man, but those memories of, man, and when we was on Whereby, and us just having an argument, talking with, it'd be Kareem, Tony. I know Eddie being there sometimes. Guillermo, Mark, Nate, King, and all these dudes, man. Those memories, man, those gonna definitely stick with me the rest of my life, man. So.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, man.
We're only gonna get better though. Because
that's it.
After 15K, man, we doing. Listen, so I'm saying now, you gonna get 20K before the end of the year.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna take it as it comes, man. I appreciate you though. I appreciate the support. Seriously, Simba Singh, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. And Afro Jedi, yes, we're still taking a few more calls for a few more minutes. So feel free to call in and discuss whatever it is that you want to discuss, and and get it on. I think I want to go back to this Norvell Pell, right? Because we didn't, we kind of glossed over it, but I want to get back to Norvell Pell and just talk about it a little bit. He had a performance tonight, right? He played tonight. Let me not say he had a performance. He played tonight. All right. Appreciate you, Zay.
All right, bro. See you later.
Appreciate you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks, according to Shams, wait a minute, because you know what? I wanted to record this one little part. So let me back it up for just a second. I'll bring it back over here. Okay. The New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, according to Shams, I'm just going to leave it at Shams, are signing center Novell Pell to a multi-year deal, sources tell The Athletic. His second 10-day deal ended today, which was April 21st, so ended yesterday. Pell finds a home after stops in Brooklyn and Sacramento this season. So the Knicks are going to sign Novell Pell to a multi-year deal as a backup center. And look, Novell Pell got a chance to put some minutes on the floor against the Atlanta Hawks because Taj Gibson, he went out the game with a lacerated eye. Nerlens Noel got smacked in the jaw by Clint Capella. Not smacked in the jaw, but hit with an elbow. He went out the game. So, Pell, you know, he played a couple of minutes, got a couple of rebounds. What do you think? Is this a move, Tony, that you think is, to me, it's kind of a I don't want to say a salary cap move, but a move to make sure you got a guy, first of all, that can be your, you know, a third string center. Also, depending on the kind of deal, I'm assuming it might be like a 1-year deal, and then the other 1 or 2 years are non-guaranteed years. But it gives you the ability to trade him, right? And you can trade him during the draft because he has a deal that goes beyond this year. So I feel like it has to do something with that. We'll see what the deal is, but it's probably going to be something like Austin Rivers, right? Austin Rivers with the Knicks had a 1-year, a 3-year deal, but the first year was guaranteed. The other 2 years were not guaranteed. It'd probably be something like that. And, you know, I guess he's a Tibbs type of center. You know, rebound and block shots. That's all you ask from him. And, you know, he can do that. I like to see him when he gets out there be a little bit more active. You know, if he's going to be on the team for a little while. But, you know, we haven't got to see much of him. We'll see. You know, I'm happy for him. I'm glad for him because he's bouncing around a little bit. And if he can get some kind of security, that's always a good thing. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. I'm not even sure if you can sign a guy to more than 2 10-day contracts. I think after that you kind of got to make a decision. I know there is a cap on how many times you can sign the same player to the 10-day. So and it was up. So you know they may have had to make a decision. With Taj going down, that might have helped the decision. But I think it's a no-brainer. Like I said earlier, I think Taj can spell Randle some minutes at times and play the 4. So I think it's still a no-brainer. And then all you're doing is turning cap space into a tradable asset, like you said. So
right,
yeah,
right.
It makes sense.
Right, and it seems like that could be what they're doing. And yes, like you said, this would have been there if they signed him to another 10-day contract. Then they would have had to make a decision. You know, I think it is only 2 10-day contracts that you can sign a player. Then you got to make a decision on, hey, what are we going to do with this guy? You know, hey, you know, good for Novell Pell, man. Eddie, any thoughts?
I like it a lot, man. Like, I even like it for the future. Like, I think he can be a good backup. You know, he plays the same style that we already have in Mitch and Nerlens. You know, Taj ain't gonna be around forever. And I don't mind keeping the kid. You know, he's 28 years old. He does, you know, again, the things that we like our centers to do. And I think he does them well. You know, he blocks shots pretty well. And, you know, just a year under under the tutelage of our development team, you never know what he could turn out to be. You know what I'm saying? He could turn out to be a really, really good center on a really, really good contract. And to me, that's what Brock Aller is all about. Like, everybody talks about, like, this and that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, of course, Tibbs, Coach of the Year, and Randle, but I really like Brock Aller. Like, I think that dude has just put us on our way to, like, being one of the smartest front offices in the league. And I've loved all the moves that he's done and all the moves that he hasn't done. You know, much to the chagrin of a lot of Knicks fans. But I'm on board with whatever that guy does. Like, whoever he signs, whoever he doesn't sign, whoever he doesn't trade for, you know, I think there's a rhyme and a reason to it and a purpose for it. And to me, that was like the best signing Leon Rose did, was bringing that guy over to our team and having him as our cap specialist.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Kareem, what about you? Any thoughts on Norvel Pelle?
Your theory actually, I didn't think of that. So that's something to consider. I'm glad they signed him. You know, even if we don't keep him after this season, he's definitely going to help us moving forward, because we do need, you know, we don't want Noels to get burnt out. And, you know, even Taj playing well, you know, we still need another big that could come in and protect the rim. So I'm happy with the signing. And, you know, we still got, and like Eddie was just saying, like, man, this capologist, oh man, we got the lowest payroll in basketball. And we achieving at the same time. Like, everything is like just working in unison.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So, you know.
No doubt about it. Again, ladies and gentlemen, according to Shams, the New York Knicks are signing center Norvel Pelle to a multi-year deal. His second 10-day deal ended today. So the Knicks had to make a decision on what they were going to do with Pelle, because they weren't able to sign him to another 10-day deal. Norvel Pelle's been in the league since last season. He played with Philadelphia in 2019-2020 for 24 games. He played with Brooklyn, Sacramento, and then now the Knicks this season. And we will see what happens with Pelle from there. Again, I kind of feel like it's you kind of get the best of both worlds. Maybe he's a guy that can, turn out to be a good backup center for you. If not, he's probably going to get the kind of deal, where you sign him, you give him a guaranteed year, and then maybe 2 other seasons that are non-guaranteed, but you can also use him in a trade asset at the trade deadline, at the draft. So we'll see what happens with Norvel Pelle, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever happens, I trust this front office. They make a lot of good decisions. Anyway, any last thoughts?
Super chat?
Nah, I didn't read the super chat. What is that? He said, Pelle. Yo, shout out to Bob Teflon, man. He said, Pelle took out Trey for us. Hey, he ain't lying. He did.
And that's what I was going to ask you, Sam. Like, who took him out? I knew somebody took him out. Exactly. Facts. They don't know where it's at. That's why I said, man, like, gotcha.
Right.
That joint is untraceable. So yeah, we give him a contract. No. They can't tell us that.
Right. Anyway, any last words, man, before we get out of here? Eddie, I'll start with you.
Man, again, just keep the ball rolling, man. Just keep the train going. Let's keep on winning, man. Let's get that 3rd seed. If we could get that 2 seed, if we could get that 1 seed, whatever we can get, let's just keep on getting it. Keep on playing hard. The kids are doing fine. They're developing just fine. Randle's doing his thing. Everything is just meshing so well, that it makes me so happy. The offense has caught up to the defense. And it's like, there's not much more that you can say about what this team has done and how this team has made a lot of Knicks fans, myself, happy, and just the way that they play is the way that we like our teams to play. Hard-nosed, playing defense, and now we can shoot the three. So what more can you ask for?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tony?
As always, man, shout out to you. Shout out to the chat. Your Blackest Time. Keep doing your thing, son. And yeah, let's keep this thing going, man.
Gotta keep it going. Kareem.
Yeah, first and foremost, I appreciate you having me on the show, Sam. You know, I'm gonna steal Tony's words. Shout outs to the chat, you know, even shout outs to the written chat. Yeah, I agree with Eddie, man. We could get a negative one spot, man, that don't, you know, above the one spot. Let's do it, you know. I like the competitiveness of this team. And you know, I'm happy. Like I'm like in you know, utopia right now, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And I got to give a special shout out to my man Chester Chetnik Nason for this. Back when the Knicks played Memphis, he started rocking his NBK shirt. And ever since then, they've been on an 8-game win streak. And he's been wearing the same shirt for every game, for every win. It's been a good luck charm, man. Chester, keep rocking the shirt. Appreciate you, my brother. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of here. Anyone who
Febreze, though, periodically, though.
yeah, Febreze it every once in a while. If I didn't get to your phone call, please call me back. Bob, make sure you call me. I'll be doing the shoot around tomorrow. Call me during the shoot around tomorrow, all right? Appreciate you. I'll make sure I get you on, get you a good 10 minutes to talk. You know what I mean? Anybody else I miss, I think Afro Jedi, if I miss your call, give me a call tomorrow. I appreciate you all, ladies and gentlemen. Big win from the New York Knicks. Big win from the New York Knicks. We're up out of here. Be peaceful, spread love, and enjoy these victories, ladies and gentlemen.